Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Just doing some art streaming today. Be pretty chill. Probably only for like an hour or two, I think. Yeah. It's been a little while since I worked on this on stream. We're back here again with this pretty incredible idea that I'm still very much into. But the way you said that made it sound sarcastic, like, or like I'm trying to force myself to enjoy it. But no, I'm committed to this painting. But I kind of rendered out the magic koopas in the back. Rendered out the Lakitu up here. So I'm working on the angels right now. So yeah, maybe that'll be my goal for the stream, is to try to get the angels done, and then see what else there is to do. There's a couple like smaller characters that I think are actually pretty, you know, like I don't need to do too much on the Yoshi and the Boo. I feel like adding too much detail to them will kind of take things away from the rest of the painting. So yeah, I think after the angels, I just need to do something about these like these arches, these columns on the side, these kind of like framing columns. I'm not sure how I want to decorate them exactly. I think in like reference pictures I've looked at of like proper actual nativity scenes, they're usually they're like wooden, or they've got some wood detail, or they're like covered in like vines or something. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to do there, or yeah, maybe make them like stone, like a stone arch. I'm not sure. And then, you know, working on other aspects of the background. So we are pretty close to finishing this. I think. Famous last words for art. So it's like you think you're done, / you're exhausted from working on a particular thing for so long, and then you post it, and then you're like, frick, I forgot to like color in this part, or, you know, I found a mistake, dang it. I'm just zooming in on Lakitu here, because even though I technically finished Lakitu, I don't like how this reflection kind of catches the eye. Yeah, I'll change it to like light reflection. Oh, but then it doesn't really look like glasses, does it? Like, maybe it just needs to be more transparent. Is that all? Yeah, maybe I just need to lower the opacity. Cool. Alright, let's work on the red pear koopa here. Merge these layers. Oh, my tablet is complaining. Too much data. I'm gonna pull up a reference picture of the red Koopa. Koopa, where are you? Go. Okay. Okay, excellent. Borrow some colors from there. How's everyone's weekends going? I feel like I had a pretty nice, chill weekend. What did I do yesterday? Laundry. Got a lot of stuff done around the house. That's good, I think. I need to, oops. Lock the transparency. Hello, Jack Crow. Sunday is for idolatry. You're so right. Sundays for idolatrous activities like Bowser Jr. nativities and watching anime. How's it going, Jack Coro? I hope you're having a good weekend. How's your Sunday? Went on a Pokemon walk today. I sort of, in Japan, I was like, I think I mentioned that I was like, kind of got back into Pokemon Go again because like, when you go to Japan, it's a lot easier to play. Because well, when you're on vacation in general, it's a lot easier to play. You've been feeling crummy for a while. Aww. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel not crummy very soon. Yeah, but I'm very sorry to hear that. Maybe you get a chance to like, you know, do the things that you need to do to not feel crummy, and or I hope that the universe stops treating you crummy. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Everybody deserves to not feel crummy. Yeah, some days are, you know, some phases of life are just crummy. I feel like. I definitely I don't know. Life do be like that sometimes I think. You're just kind of minding your own business and then you get like bodied. I learned that word the other day from watching VTubers. I'm learning all sorts of stuff. Is that like Gen Z slang? Getting bodied? It means getting beat up, I think. Hopefully it doesn't mean anything. Well, hopefully Do I know the meaning of this phrase? I probably shouldn't be using words that I don't like 100% know the meaning of. Sometimes life bodies you. Yeah, sometimes when I've been feeling kind of restless this week. I don't really know why. I think just a lot of things going on, and so like, you know, I've had to thankfully I'm not in Crummy Town yet. But you know, I've been feeling kind of like nervous and restless about a couple of things like going on at work and stuff. Getting bodied is pre-Gen Z slang? Oh dang. Then I have no excuse. I should know about what bodied means. That's okay. I have never bodied or been bodied by another human being, so maybe it's fine that I don't know what it is. Taking colors from the Lakitu. But yeah, sometimes you gotta come. I don't know. I feel like in times like this, like for me at least, it's very helpful for me to have a kind of a routine, or sort of like a default set of things to do. Because otherwise, at least for me, I end up just like laying on the ground and being like, I don't know what to do with my life. It's too literal to be Gen Z. I've always equated body like being body slammed. Ah, okay. Like an abbreviation, kind of, for being body slammed. That makes sense. That makes sense. Man, I bet some Gen Z person is gonna click into my stream and then immediately click out. Like, what's wrong with this? This lady is so old. What's wrong with her? I see. Okay, more of a direct connotation. But speaking of like kind of habitual things, I've been going on Pokemon walks recently, which is not a habit I used to have, but after coming back from traveling, I don't know, it's been like a helpful, I don't know if walking slowly around for like 15 minutes is actually counts as exercise. I don't think it does. But it makes me feel like I'm exercising. Or it's like a thing I can do where I'm like, you know what? If I don't know what to do with my life, at least I can do a little bit of exercise, you know? So then I go walk around and like visit all of the like Pokemon gyms and stuff. Gen Z is great. They have interesting opinions and bizarre memes. Oh yeah, I respect Gen Z. I hope that's clear. I'm not I respect Gen Z. I fear being shunned by them. I want them to like me. You know? It's moving. I think it counts, yeah. At the very least, I won't get like deep vein thrombosis or whatever from sitting in front of the computer all day. But yeah, there's I've kind of like figured out my route through my neighborhood where I can visit all the like local gyms and stuff. I've just kind of been doing that on the regular, like a couple times a week. So that's kind of nice, like going around and then like putting my Pokemon in the gyms, getting those Poke coins. And it's kind of funny because I've started to notice like, so I'm on Team Instinct, the yellow team. And I've started to notice like, oh, there's like a certain time of day when the different teams, maybe there's some other players in the area that are just, you know, particularly active, but there's like certain times of the day and certain times of the week that like different teams have control of the gyms. And so I'm like, huh, like I guess I could like so I've started to kind of sync up to that. Not in terms of like walking schedule necessarily, but just in terms of like, oh, like I noticed that, you know, team, what are the other teams called? The blue team. They're, you know, they just grabbed this gym, so I'll let them have it for a little while. So I won't bother fighting the gym for now, because I know later, like somebody from Team Instinct's gonna come along and like weaken it, you know, around when commuting time is. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Like I'm sort of getting a sense of community. This is not like what I set out to get or what I expected. But I'm sort of like developing a sense of community, even though I'm literally not like seeing anybody else. And I feel a little bit incognito, like I'm walking around and like playing Pokemon Go, and I'm like, is there anybody else in this park that's like playing? But I like don't want to look like I'm playing because I don't want them to talk to me. I don't want to be caught playing Pokemon Go. Scared. Not because I'm embarrassed about it or anything, but like, I don't know, it's just, I'm like, I don't want to like, I don't want somebody to talk to me and then be like, oh, let's coordinate, and I'll be like, I can't commit to this. I can't commit to this social obligation. I just want to be casual. Yeah, but it's interesting. I don't know. I sort of have gotten a little bit of a different picture of my neighborhood by walking around regularly. So that's been kind of fun. Did that this morning. Pokemon Go is interesting, but I really don't like that they made it possible to move Pokemon from Go into Home / the mainline games. It ruined the idea of a living dex for me. Oh, I see. Because it's sort of like cheating in a way. I haven't really thought about it. Like I've never been somebody. I think I've kind of assumed that I would never accomplish something like that, so I've never thought about it. Is it because it's sort of like, because I mean the way you catch Pokemon is so different. So I feel like, you know, you can get all these legendaries in a totally different way. I suppose is maybe the thing. Yeah, I haven't really known about the discourse on that. I should ask one of my friends is I call him, he's like the local Pokemon professor, I feel like. I should ask my friend because I think he has a living dex or very close to a living dex. I should ask him what he thinks about it. I wouldn't say it was cheating, but yeah, it cheapens it for me. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, because you kind of, I don't know. Yeah, and then on one hand, it's, you know, for people like me who are kind of casual players, or even people who are younger and they never had access to some of the older games, and like missed out on events and stuff, like that also might be the only way they can get certain Pokemon. Maybe? I don't know enough about, I feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough about Pokemon. I don't know if that's actually true. But, like, so I guess for maybe some casual people, that's like a nice, like, having Pokemon Go as an option is like nice. But yeah, I can totally see the, like, it sort of cheapens it argument as well. Because it, like, it really is a whole different kind of game, Pokemon Go. Like, I remember when I was in Japan and I was like, okay, like, what's new? Like, I had to, like, look up a couple of YouTube videos to kind of be like, what am I doing? How do I fight things? Like, how do I consider what kind of Pokemon are, like, good? Like, is there, like, how do I think about this game? I don't know. And it's like total, like, the strategy and like the thinking and like everything else, like it's all totally different. So it really is like a whole different kind of skill set, I feel like. Kind of limited time live server style stuff, yeah. Yeah, remember when you could buy things, buy software and you just have it? Remember those days? I want to play a game when I have time, not have to worry about when I have time to play it, yeah. But the corporations gotta get those player numbers up. They gotta scare you into playing things. Or else you're gonna... They gotta scare you with FOMO. So they can report back to the executives and be like, look at how many people are playing our game. Line gotta go up. Donks. Yeah. And I'm also like always kind of scared of like I've done it a couple times, transferring Pokemon out from Pokemon Go. And like it's like kind of scary to do it because you're like, because you can't put them back. So you're like, is this is a permanent decision? I'm scared. But yeah, I totally understand that. I don't know. I think mostly I've been treating Pokemon Go as sort of a separate game, which I'm like totally okay with, I think. But then again, I'm not like, I think I have sort of like delusions that like, oh, it'd be so cool if I made a living dex. And then I'm like, no, there's no way I'm ever gonna do that. I do not have the, I know myself. I don't have the discipline. There's like other things I'd rather be doing. I know. It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Super a lot of work. Let's look zoomed out. That seems okay. I have been enjoying Pokemon Sleep. So I started playing that when I bought that auto catcher thing, because I mainly bought the auto catcher thing because I wanted to try Pokemon Sleep, and I didn't like using Pokemon Sleep without it, because when you use Pokemon Sleep without it, you have to leave your phone open, and it gets really hot. Like, you have to leave it face down on your pillow, and it gets really hot, and you're like, am I killing my phone? I don't know. Makes me nervous. So I got the little auto catcher thing, and then I kind of got hooked into Pokemon Go because you can also use it for Pokemon Go, and that was very handy, like having that on and going around on the train lines and stuff. But yeah, Pokemon Sleep's been kind of fun. It's very chill. Like it feels a little bit like a Tamagotchi game. So I think I'm kind of into it. It's like doesn't take up a lot of commitment, which is nice. You basically take care of a weekly Snorlax. You like find the Snorlax and then you like feed it for a week using your sleep powers, I guess. But leaving the phone on in the data collection dissuaded me. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, I did not like the phone on thing. Yeah, the sleep data collection I wasn't too concerned about, but yeah, I think it totally makes sense to be concerned about that. Yeah, for some reason the people knowing my sleep habits never scared me. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. I think people should be very cautious about their data collection. But for me, like I've never, like for most data collection things, I'm a little, especially face data collection stuff. I'm always a little bit like, oh, do you really need this? Or like when you do like government things or whatever, and they need like your fingerprint, and then you're like, why do you need my fingerprint? But like for I don't know, for whatever reason, the alarm bells in my mind are like not activated by sleep data collection. But I'm like, what are they gonna tell about me, that I'm a degenerate sleeper? Like, get this girl, she stays up till 2 a.m. sometimes. Privacy data has always occupied the same space in my brain as carcinogens. Oh no. Hey Wizmander, how's it going? Like, probably shouldn't be exposing myself to excess radiation as possible. Yeah. Yep. And it's like, just because of the world we live in, there's like some things that are unavoidable, It's like, I live in California, and here there's like a law, I guess, where all the buildings have to put like a big ass sign on front of the door to like that says like, hey, by entering this building, you're gonna be exposed to like, all these toxic chemicals. And it's like, you can't not go in the building, but like, thanks for letting me know, I guess. I'm here to do something important. I have to go inside. But, so I guess just by like existing in the modern world, you kind of are exposed to that. But yeah, I think that's a good attitude to have, is like, you kind of just have to like try your best. I had a security clearance at one point. Yeah, I did that at the airport. Oh, hey, Alexander Dean, what's up? Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but I've done the like face thing. Like when you come back into the country, there's, it's called global entry. Yeah. So I paid for that because American like immigration is notoriously crazy. Like it's extremely slow and always like backed up. So for a recent trip, we like paid to have access to that, and like, you know, they take your picture and stuff, and it's really scary because when you come back into the country and you go into the global entry line, which is much shorter, you're like, oh yeah, cool, and then you go up to the little booth and it's like, okay, take your glasses off, take your mask off, you know, take the picture. And so the camera just looks at your face and then like takes a picture, and then it just says like, great, like you've passed the test, I guess. And you're like, how? And like sometimes I don't know when it decides to print something out or not, but sometimes it'll like print something out and it'll be like, here's all your personal information. I'm like, how did it know? It just knows based on my face. I didn't have to scan my password or anything. It's just like, here, we've looked you up in some governmental database. Oh, I know why my tablet was acting so. It wasn't plugged in. That's usually a problem. Hold on. Okay. There we go. It's like the microplastics things. Unless you're turbo rich, it's just sort of the cost of existing in modern society. Yeah. Yep. I feel like if you're turbo rich, you just kind of, you're like, whatever, I'll just pay however much I need to, like, I don't know, do the fancy experimental surgery to extract all the microplastics, you know? You kind of just like have a free pass to like do whatever, because you can like bail yourself out of jail, you can bail yourself out of health problems. I don't know. Just speculating. What must it be like to be turbo rich? Maybe they become Batman. Wait, what did I say? Did I say microplastics? Become as plastics. Did I finish the Marvelous Showcase? I did not. I watched half of it. I don't know if there's... so I watched the Farmagia announcement, and I watched the like preview that they had for the new Story of Seasons game that they're very like mysterious about. I'm excited. Yeah, if you all like farming games, go Google for the Marvelous game showcase. Have some new farming game info. Just completely replaced by blood every year. No big deal. But yeah, Farmagia seems interesting. I feel kind of mixed about it because I'm like, oh cool, like a new farming franchise. But on the other hand, internally, I'm like, isn't this just like Rune Factory again? This seems like Rune Factory again. Maybe not. So, but I like Rune Factory, so maybe it's cool. I don't know. So I'm like kind of ping-ponging back and forth in my mind. Oh, I didn't see the new Rune Factory preview. Dang. Feel free to talk about it though. Feel free to tell me about it. I'll go and look up the details. But Farmagia, a fantasy Rune Factory. I don't know. It just kind of seems like Rune Factory. It gives me very like strong Rune Factory vibes. I feel like I need to contour this. Need to contour this Koopa's face. Oh, by the way, currently we're listening to the only Legend of Legaia remix I could find on Spotify. I very proudly added this to my art streaming playlist. They showed more of Project Dragon. It was only combat again. Oh. I see. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm always kind of nervous when it comes to these games because it's like, is it gonna be good? I sure hope it's good. Sure hope it's good. Previews are very light on substance. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I saw from the parts that I did see. Except for Farmagia, I guess they were kind of fleshing out the characters a little bit and stuff. But yeah, the Story of Seasons preview was pretty light. They were like, we're focusing on the concept of seasons. And I was like, oh, okay, that seems cool. Look how pretty the crops are. Look at these graphics. And then, I mean, sorry, I don't mean to be like pooping on Marvelous, but you know, they were like, oh, we're focusing on seasons and look at we're working really hard on the graphics. And I'm looking at the graphics and I'm like, yep, that's a farming game. I'm like, they look kind of, I don't know, it looks pretty similar to, you know, the Story of Seasons game I'm currently playing. What do I know? I'm not a game dev. I'm sure somebody who has like more experience with like, game development and like modeling and stuff is, you know, maybe they can pick up on the nuances of like, oh, like they're doing something really cool here. But for me, I'm like, ooh, pretty snow. Like they're gonna have snow. Hey Greg, what's up? Drawing is a tough hobby when you have to clean your whole house. Oh, that's so true. That is so true. Man, having responsibility sure gets in the way of doing fun things. Okay. I don't know if I like the way I shaded this. These crops have so many normal maps. But they did go back to the bubble cows, which is exciting, but I think they showed that last time. So yeah, I need to go back and finish that preview. Was there anything like super duper exciting? Or was it kind of just like, a little bit more information here and there? They were dumping on the bubble cows? What? I will fight them. I will fight them. Call me defender of bubble cows. JoJo story. Captain of the guard of the bubble cows. Why would they hate on the bubble cows? They're so cute. So cute. Why would they do such a thing? So sad. I'm like, respect your elders. Get out of here with your real ass cows. Like, how can you tell if you're an OG Harvest Moon fan or a newbie Harvest Moon fan? The newbie Harvest Moon fans like cows that have necks. They got JoJo and Story in the same room. Oh my god. Can I make an alter ego avatar? One's JoJo and one's Story. The other one's like a negaverse avatar. And I'm drawn on like construction paper instead. Or I mean, instead I'm like extremely 3D instead of a drawing. I want a pregnant cow so round it rolls around on the ground. Yeah! Like in the original. That's like, we're going back to basics. We are experiencing Wada's original vision. Exactly. But all in all, I'm glad that Marvelous is doing these showcases because I think last year was their first one, right? So like, I don't know, like it feels nice that they have like a way to kind of communicate about game development. I think knowing that because there's enough of an audience that's like into that. So I'm glad that the company's like doing well enough to do stuff like this, you know, even if it's not as like exciting as say like a Nintendo Direct and all that. It makes sense, you know, they're probably, I'm guessing, a much smaller company. Marble is doing showcases. Nah. You know, when we first got Marble, I was like, oh, should I make him a show cat? But I don't think he would be a good show cat. He's if he was a good show cat, I think his previous owners would have kept him. Okay, hear me out. It's Story of Seasons, but a Katamari game. Ah, Marvelous Catertainment. Making farming games where everything is cat themed. Marvelous? You know, Marvelous's birth certificate name is Crown Prince Marvelous. Did you know that? He doesn't have a birth certificate. Actually, he does, but no, he wasn't abandoned. No. He wasn't abandoned. He was bred by a very ethical breeder who is sort of, I wouldn't say they're big in the cat showing world, but you know, they can't keep all of their cats. They're mostly a showing breeder, so they'll breed their like champion cats to try to get more champions, and then they give the non-champions. So Marble was rejected from his he was rejected from his like champion path. He has a bloodline. Yeah, he has like a grand champion, like grandma or something. I don't know. I have his pedigree actually somewhere. His birth certificate name is actually Dark Chocolate. They named him Dark Chocolate when he was born. He was the spare. Well, him and his like 5 other siblings. The heir and the spare. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the other. I think most of his siblings were adopted. Spare. I struggled to find the English version of the showcase. I need to look again sometime. Ah, okay. I don't think there's a separate video. Well, maybe, I don't know. I watched it with subtitles on. Like, it was Japanese, but they had English subtitles, so that's what I watched. Not sure if they have a different video. At least it's not a meme name. Yeah, cat names are funny. I think his mom's name is like the cattery is called Omnia Mia. So you always put the cattery's, like the breeder's name in the cat's name, and then you have like a special, you know, a fancy name for the cat themselves. I think his mom's name is like Winter Fairy Tale or something like that. It's really cool. You missed the subtitles option? Ah, okay. Yeah, I think you just gotta toggle the subtitles on. You should be able to watch it. Wait, I want to go back to the Katamari suggestion. So is it like, are you thinking like the cow is rolling around? The cow is the Katamari? Like, what are you thinking? I'm intrigued. The shoes have yellow soles. Oh my god. This. I didn't get beyond the cow being a Katamari. Oh, okay. You know, I almost said out loud, like, oh, I would love more like Harvest Moon themed, like, spin-off games, but actually I don't know if that's true. I think they've had spin-off games in the past, and I haven't touched any of them. So, I'm not a true fan, I guess. Hey, Voodoo Doodler, what's up? Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Maybe you have different Katamaris for different tools or functions. Oh. So like if you want to roll up all of your crops that are ready to harvest, you have to get your like your sickle Katamari and then like roll it around in the field. And then to make friends with the villagers, you have to roll up all the villagers and then like put them in some sort of like, I don't know. You have to catch the villagers so that you can give them gifts. Rune Factory was a harvesting spin. Oh yeah, I guess you're right, huh? I guess I have played that. But I was thinking kind of the more, well, I don't know if they're obscure. I think they're just not as popular. There was like at least one like puzzle game, I think. I have no idea what it is. Like I'm guessing it's maybe like one of those match 3 games. But I literally have never even like Googled it. Like I was just so uninterested. Hello. Hello, Zeto. How's it going? Or KTR, I forget what you prefer your, like, shorthand to be. Puzzled to Harvest Moon. Yeah, that sounds right. Like, I know that exists, but I've never, like... I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Most people call me Zeto, but I go by either. Ah, okay. Thank you for the reminder. Never looked into seeing if the puzzle one was before or after the Natsume split. Way before? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it's an old one if I remember. It's an oldish game. But yeah, it's I don't know. Curious about it, I guess. Maybe I should give it a chance. Maybe it could be a fun one-off stream, like if nobody else has seen it before, we could all just kind of experience it for the first time together. Ah, but how do I stream DS games? Never thought about how to stream DS games. I think they have video out kits for DS nowadays, but I haven't looked into them. What's Bowser nativity? Oh, here, I'll show you. So, I grew up going to church. So like Christian mythology, that's not the right word. Christian stories are like very familiar to me. But one day I was playing Super Mario RPG, and we were randomly talking about how did Bowser Jr. get born? Like who is Bowser Jr.'s mom? And then we kind of had a discussion about that, and then somebody was like, you know, well, we know Bowser is Bowser Jr.'s parent. And maybe there was no other partner. Maybe it was a, you know, divine like birth. and then for whatever reason I decided to like actually draw it. So, you know, it's sort of a parody picture of like you know, like the Mary with the Jesus in the manger thing. Pretty dang blasphemous, but I feel like I'm allowed because I grew up with this religion, so hopefully nobody will get too mad at me. Immaculate conception, yes. That is the phrase. That's funny. I'm glad you think so. Like, I gotta admit, like, I'm still having fun with this drawing, but like the further, like, you know, like the further I get into the drawing, the more scared I am of finishing it. Like the idea of stepping back and being like, what have I done? What have I made? What have I done? Like Anakin Skywalker, was he immaculately conceived? I don't remember Star Wars lore. Was he really? So that's Sunshine came out when it did, so we canonically have Mama Peach. That would not happen in 2024. That would not happen in 2024. They have to make Peach girl boss. I think that's the direction they're trying to go for her nowadays. Do you remember a few years ago when Miyamoto answered some fan questions and he said he's Bowser Jr.'s mom? Yeah, somebody brought that up last time. So I'm gonna put Miyamoto in the painting. For a while, like, I considered him being in the picture next to Bowser, but I thought that would be too weird. I think we discussed this on stream a little bit, but yeah, instead he's gonna be, I still need to paint his face, but yeah, he's gonna be like in the sky, like in the background. The Force is his father? What? All right. The only child. Does the Force have any other children? Japan is not very religious, so I don't have a good grasp of how big of a deal it is over there. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo will probably tell me to not sell it on Etsy or something. So this is gonna have to be like an underground brand. Yeah, I don't think they'll be particularly offended by the religious imagery, but like they might be like, "Hey, you can't draw Bowser as Virgin Mary. You can't do that." Like I do expect to get slapped on the wrist by Nintendo if they somehow gain knowledge of little old me, if they somehow perceive me. Okay, I think I'm kind of done with this guy. Maybe? Doug Bowser's gonna come to your home. We're gonna have a talk. He'll be like, okay, I know you put a lot of work into this, but we can't let you do this. I'm sorry. All right. I think, I don't like how I did the shadow here. Do this. This is a little better. But yeah, I do want to sell this as a print. I don't know how long it's gonna last on the Etsy platform. So we'll see. We'll see. I think somebody may complain, but it's okay. The real treasure is the journey we went working on this for several months. When did I start working on this? Not that long ago. Like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe, is when I started this. But I've just been kind of like chipping away at it. Okay. Cool. But yeah, anybody did anything cool the weekend? Oh, that reminds me. I was talking to my mom on the phone 2 or 3 years ago. That would not be surprising. For me, me who I'm notoriously slow at drawing. Okay, I think we're good with this. Make sure to save. But I was talking to my mom on the phone, and she let me tell you a wholesome story. It's not really a story. I guess it's just a wholesome set of statements. My mom apparently recently joined like a choir activity. Like I think it's not church related. Like I think it's just like a separate like extracurricular thing. I don't know who hosts it. But anyway, she joined this like choir thing that has like that like other Korean ladies are also in, so she's been like making friends. Because she was telling me like, oh yeah, the other day I went to, you know, this like thing, and like because my friends I made at the choir thing like invited me to go, and I was like, oh yeah, that's nice. And she's like, yeah, and like she was like telling me all about like, you know, so and so is like this, and like she's this kind of lady, and like, you know, she does this for work. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, you know, it was fun kind of hearing about my mom's like friends, like new friends that she's made. And she was like, I asked her too. I was like, oh, like this is all from your chorus thing. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, what kind of song are you guys practicing now? And she says, it's called Baba Yetu. And I was like, oh, she's like, yeah, it's like she's like, I think it's from a video game. Like they sang it at Video Games Live. And I was like, what? Huh? I was like, you're singing a video game song? And she was like, yeah, I think so. It's from some video game. And I was like, huh? She's like, yeah, it's a very difficult song. It's like, you know, it's like in some African language. I forget exactly which. But she's like, yeah, like it's kind of hard, but it's like a cool sounding song. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, okay. So I looked it up later. She is singing with her Korean lady friends the theme song to Civilization 4. Yeah. I almost said video game songs as a joke. Yeah, like I was surprised. I was like, huh? I was like, maybe they're like choir coach, leader, conductor person. I don't know what you call them. Maybe they're a video game fan. I don't know. But yeah, she was singing video game songs. It won a Grammy? Whoa. Yeah, but I looked it up and then my mom sent me a YouTube link to just like show me what the song sounded like. It's a cool song. It's a very nice song. But yeah, apparently she's been practicing that with you know, just a group of like older Korean ladies just like singing Civilization 4 songs. Yeah, video games have good music. I was just like surprised that I don't know. Like, cause it's not a song that normally like my mom would choose. Like, she doesn't really know that much about video games. We've recently got her, by recent, I mean like the last 10 years, like she kind of learned how to play Wii and she learned how to play Switch. But other than that, she doesn't really know much about like game culture. So yeah, I was kind of surprised, but yeah, maybe their like choir leader person is like into games and sort of made it happen. But yeah, I'm glad she's like enjoying it. And you know, she was also telling, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, you it sounds like you get to try like lots of different kinds of songs. And she's like, yeah. And then she was also like, I don't know, it's so funny. It's so funny talking to my mom about this stuff nowadays, because like, I feel like she talks about stuff that she wouldn't talk about when we were like young kids, you know, but now that we're both adults, she kind of can like speak more freely, I guess. And my mom's an alto, and she's very good at singing. She's pretty dang good at singing. And she knows this. Like, she was telling me, she's like, yeah, I'm in the alto. And then she's like, but I'm like the only one that can stay on key, so I have to like make sure that I'm like, you know, doing it right, because everybody else can't do it right. And it's like, it's so funny because I'm like, it feels like something like an elementary school kid would say, you know, like you're talking to your like little cousin and they just like joined chorus and they're like, oh yeah, everyone else sucks, but like I'm good. So anyway, my mom's been saying stuff like that, but no, apparently the other ladies sort of acknowledge it. They're like, oh, like, you know, you have to like, what should I, Jojo Mom. I'll just, my mom's nickname will be Jojo Mom. She's like, Jojo Mom, you have to, like, we're all following you, so, you know, we're gonna like do what you do. So like I think they sort of have accepted her as the alto leader, which is kind of funny. Jojo Mom. When you say leader person, it makes you sound like she don't. I don't know what is it called? The choir manager person. Is it like manager? Is it coach? Add it to Wiki. The lore expands. Is it a coach? What do you call like a choir leader? Conductor? I don't know. I was in a choir when I was in elementary school, a very long time ago. And the choir, the person leading it was just like our music teacher. So I don't know if that's any. I don't know. It's like different maybe, but. Yeah, so she sort of accepted it, or like the other ladies have accepted her as the leader. So I thought that was kind of cute. I don't know, it's just like very like, you don't really think of adults having these kinds of interactions, but it really reminds me of like when you're in school again, or when you're in school, and like it feels like she's kind of like experiencing that. I think it's kind of cute, just like, you know, now that she's kind of semi-retired, and you know, she doesn't have to take care of kids anymore, and you know, all that stuff. Kind of funny. She also mentioned that like she was very pleased because the other Korean ladies call her 언니, which in Korean is like older sister. So it's sort of like, if you're familiar with like anime, you know how like characters will call each other like Oni-chan or One-chan, you know, like big brother or big sister. So Korean has something similar, where you know, friends will call each other like big sister or big brother if they're older. And I don't know, it sounded funny to me because it's like, I don't know, it's like if you think of your parent, like your mom getting called like, hey big sis, by like their friend. It sounds kind of funny. But my mom was quite pleased by that because normally she's the youngest. She's the youngest of all of her siblings, like her real siblings, and then among her friends, like the church lady friend, she's the youngest, you know. So she's usually the ones calling her friends like big sister. But now a lot of the choir ladies are younger than her by like, you know, 5 or 10 years, something like that. So they call her big sister, and I thought that was pretty cute. I don't know, cute. Had a wholesome conversation with my mom. She's having a good time, and she says she appreciates having younger friends because they're like you know, like her older friends are kind of like, oh, I'm too tired, I don't want to go do a thing, and then like, you know, you can't really like hang. They're like, oh, they're busy with like this or that. But with her younger friends, she can kind of just like, they're like, oh, we should go do this. Let's go hiking. And she's like, yeah, I get to do a lot of stuff. I'm like, that's good. That's really nice. So she's having a good time. I've heard that it's common in East Asia to call people Big Brother and the like. That's why it's an anime. Yeah. Like it's a totally normal, like, I mean, I think it is exaggerated a little bit in anime, but at least in Korea, like it's a very normal like thing to address somebody as. But only if you're friends. I recently learned this by, I don't know, I think it was like a Reddit post I came across in the Korean language subreddit where somebody was like, oh, I called somebody, so there's different words depending on like gender, but like a guy called a person, an acquaintance who was older than him, Nuna, which is older sister if you are a guy talking to a girl, an older girl. And she got really offended, apparently, and he like didn't know, like he was learning the language, so he came to the subreddit to kind of ask like, why is she mad at me? And I had no idea. I was like, what? I've never heard of somebody getting like angry about that. So I think like and a lot of the people on the Reddit were like, I don't know, maybe she's just weird. So I don't know if that's like a common thing to be angry about that or not, but like some people were speculating like you know, like I'm a native Korean speaker, but like I wouldn't get mad about it, but like maybe the reason she's mad is because she doesn't consider you like a close friend or something. Like she just wants you to call her like a respectful, like, you know, last name plus honorific maybe. So yeah, it is definitely like a thing that you reserve for friends, but pretty common among friends, because he called her older. Yeah, maybe. Well, I think most people would be offended if you called them like ajoshi or ajumma, which is like old lady or old. It's kind of like uncle and auntie, but you know, it's sort of, it's a little rude. It's kind of, that's definitely calling them older. But I saw a prank video, a Korean prank video where a girl was going around like asking, like she went up to like a group of guys and she's like, oh, can I, you know, do you know if, like, she asked them some question, like, oh, do you know if like sitting in the chairs here is free or do you need to pay? And they're like, oh, no, it's free, you can, and she's like, oh, okay, thank you, ajoshi. And then she like ran away, and then like the camera is still on the guys, and like the guy, like they're young guys, they're like maybe 30, like not that old, but then the guy who helped her is just like he has this like horrified look on his face, and then his buddies are like cracking up, dying, laughing. It was it's really funny. It was a very funny video. But yeah, just like, I don't know. It's interesting. Baba Yetu's most likely song to see in a choir, at least video game, right? Yeah. What if my mom was singing like the Sephiroth theme song? Because you can sing that in a choir. I've seen that at Distant Worlds. Like you could sing that, but it sounds very scary. It's hard because if you call a woman a bitch, it's bad, but if you call a woman a bad bitch, it's good. Ah, yes, the English language. The English language. Yeah, I saw a video. It was a skit. It was, so, you know, everybody involved was in on the joke, but the skit was like there was a guy. There are two guys, like they're running a restaurant, some sort of restaurant, like izakaya type restaurant. So you like go in and then like sit at the counter or whatever. One is like the owner slash chef, and the other is like a waiter. And this like like a non-Japanese girl comes in, like a white girl comes in, and then the owner's like, hey, you know English, you know a little bit of English, you should go ask her if she's alone, like if it's just her. And then he's like, oh, okay. The waiter goes up to her and he goes, hey, are you single? And then she's like, what? But anyway, they passed that crisis. And the skit just kind of continues like that. I thought it was a pretty clever skit. Are you single? She's like, what are you talking about? Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, English is hard. Language is hard in general. There's a lot of figures of speech that makes things difficult. Seinfeld situation? I've never watched Seinfeld. Seinfeld? Seinfeld? Seinfeld. You can tell I've never watched it. But yeah, that's what this sort of thing is constantly what I'm afraid of when I speak in Korean. And even in Japanese. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, like, I don't think I told this story yet. Did I? I can't remember. When I gave up, did I tell you guys about me trying to go into the Square Enix cafe? I tried to get into the Square Enix cafe, but they were like full, so they gave me a ticket to come back later. And then I was like, oh, okay, so I took the ticket. And then I came back at the time. So I was like, oh, because I wanted to go to the Square Enix cafe because my husband still wanted to do a little bit of shopping, but I was like done shopping. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll find a place to like sit. I was like, might as well go to the Square Enix cafe and like, get something interesting to eat. So I went there and then they're like, oh, we're done with this time slot's like seating. So if you want to come back, we can get you in at a later time. They said this all in Japanese, of course. So I was like, oh, okay. And they gave me this like little plastic thingy. And I was like, okay. And they like said some stuff and I was like, okay, I think I'm supposed to bring this back with me to show that I've like reserved a spot at this time. So then I go walk around for a little while and then come back. But like at that point, my husband had been like, oh, I'm done shopping. And I was like, oh man, do I still want to go to the Square Enix cafe? Because now I have a slot, like a guaranteed slot. And he was like, oh yeah, you can go if you want to. And I was like, but I don't know if I want to. And then I was like, this is crazy that I only thought of this afterwards. And then I was like, wait, what are they even serving at the Square Enix cafe? Like, what franchise are they like marketing right now? So I went back to the cafe and like the signage is all for like this mobile game, I think, that they were marketing called like Girls Idol thingy. Like it wasn't Final Fantasy. It wasn't like anything that I knew. And I was like, I don't even want any of this. Like, this is all references that I was like, why didn't I check this? So anyway, I was like, okay, well, I'll just tell them that I don't need the ticket anymore, I guess. So I went back and then, I was like waiting in line because there was like a small line of people who are also, coming back, and they were like, they had their little tickets and they're giving it to the person at the front. And then I say to the guy when I get there, I was like, oh, what do I say? So I say to him, like, oh, I ran out of time, so I'm gonna give you back this ticket because I can't actually, like, I can't go. So I'll give this back to you. And then he looked kind of confused, and then he was like, oh, okay, I understand. And then he gave the ticket, and I was like, yeah, thank you, sorry. And I was like proud of myself, right? And then And then I was like, I don't know if that was correct, but at least he understood. So then I came back to my husband and I was like, okay, this is what I said. And then what I had said in Japanese was, 時間はないから like この tickets を戻ります which apparently means I don't have any time, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the ticket home. Kind of like it's like a, apparently the verb I used was like not correct. Like it's not like return as in give back, it's return as in like go back to a place, you know? So I think that's why the guy was confused and I was like, dang it. He's like, well, as long as they understood, it's fine, right? And I'm like, I guess. Anyway, wrong return. But I guess English has that problem as well. You can like return an object, but you can also return physically to a place. So yeah, I thought that was my yeah. It's interesting, but I mean I'll take a it's a tiny dub. The guy understood what I was trying to say. Because I was really sort of anxious in the line. I was like, I don't know how to explain that I like have like, because I can't take the ticket with me. It's like a plastic like object, so it's not like I could just like throw it away somewhere. I have to like return it to the store. So I had to like tell them what I wanted to do, but like give it back to them, but not go into the cafe because I didn't actually want to be there. So I succeeded a little bit, kind of. But yeah, that was fun. But yeah, sometimes people are really nice. I guess another thing that happened was when I was trying to in a retro store and I was like trying to pay for something, and I needed a bag, and bags are like 5 yen each. And so I was looking for 5 yen in my little purse, and I'm not super familiar with Japanese currency, so I was like digging around. I was like, and the 5 yen coins I knew. The 5 and 50 yen coins are ones that they have like holes in the middle of them, so you can kind of like find them easily, but I kept finding 50s instead of 5s. And like the poor cashier lady was looking at me like she was kind of like like looking at me like encouragingly. And then when I finally found the 5 yen, I was like, oh, 5 yen, and she was like, nice. I was like, oh, thank you for waiting for me. She was very like, I don't know if it was like, she's like, oh, thank God, or if she was actually like, you know, like, ah, great, I don't have to stand here all day. But, you know, she was sort of, I don't know, I thought that was pretty cute. Okay, well, because she was just like standing there watching me, you know, while I was like digging around my purse. But I'm sure she had other things she wanted to do. I need a macroeconomics situation. No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Poor in time. Poor as in I was using up all of her precious time looking for a coin. But thankfully, yeah, but I just, she was like, nice. I was like, oh, thank you for the encouragement. Yeah, but yeah, I really wish I could communicate a little bit better. Nice. She also tried to tell me that like, and it took me like 5 minutes to kind of process it mentally. So I think she was worried that I didn't understand. She was trying to tell me about the return policy for the things that I had bought, and I kind of just like nodded silently. Oh wait, no, this is what happened. So I bought, that was the retro store where I bought I bought my Game Boy Color, and I bought the Wonder Swan, the broken ones that I was intending to try to fix. And then I also bought a Tamagotchi Game Boy game, right? And then so I I'd been walking around for a while. I gave her all the stuff, and I checked out, and she was like, she said, oh, Tamagotchi something, like, you know, she was trying to tell me about the warranty, and she said Tamagotchi, and then I was like, but she said Tamagotchi, and I was like, how does she know I like Tamagotchi? And I like looked around, like, am I wearing any Tamagotchi things? Like, what? How does she know my secrets? And then she kind of, so I was like internally panicking, but not trying to like show my face. Cause I was like, is that what she's actually saying? And then I realized, like, after I walked out of the store, oh, she was talking about the Tamagotchi Game Boy game. Cause I think in my mind, I was like, if she was telling me something about the product, she would have said something like, oh, like the Game Boy games have this policy, you know, return policy or whatever. So I was like panicking as I walked out the store, and then I was like, oh, she was talking about the game that I bought. But yeah, in that moment, I was like, how does she know? How does she know? I think it's truly awkward when one screws up the cashier interaction in your own language. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's happened before for sure. I've been exposed. Yeah, I was like, how did she know? I was like, well, and this is the dangerous part. I was like, is she a Tamagotchi fan? Should I be like, oh my gosh, you like Tamagotchi too? Like, what should I do? And I'm so glad I did not do that, because that's not what she was trying to tell me. So I'm so glad I didn't like I almost smiled and it was like, oh yeah, I like Tamagotchi. I almost did that. I'm so glad I didn't do that. Civilization is a series of 4X turn-based strategy games where your goal is to make a civilization that stands the test of time. I've never played Civilization. Is it kind of like Age of Empires? Because I've played like whatever the super old Age of Empire is, or I've like seen it. I haven't played it a lot, but I have. I'm familiar with Age of Empires. Is it kind of like that? Like a similar kind of thing? Because I know Age of Empires is sort of like you're supposed to try to like. Actually, I don't know if it's more strategy, or it's like maybe it's more combative, like multiplayer competitive, rather than trying to build up a civilization. It's kind of like a more turn-based Age of Empires. Oh yeah, I guess Age of Empires isn't turn-based, huh? It's like real-time strategy. RTS, as they call it. Suppose that is what they call it. Interesting. So is it more like simulation? Simulation-based? Like you're trying to make the coolest civilization ever? It's more focused on the nation building. Okay, I see. So similar in theme, but sort of like the gameplay goals are pretty different. I understand. Interesting. I wonder if I would like it. I like simulation games. I don't know. Will I get stressed? Do your townspeople like? Will they die if you don't take good care of them? I'll be like sad. Like, no, I'm a terrible empire leader. All my people are dying. Your goal is to build settlements into cities, into nations. Okay. It's the type of game you lose days of your life to. Okay. So it is something that I would like. It's like Stardew Valley, except instead of making a farm, you're making like your nation. Let's see. Do better than the other countries. Ooh, are there other countries? I guess there has to be, because you need like that global, you need to be able to like trade, I guess, with other nations and stuff. They coined the term one more turn syndrome? Really? Whoa. This is the game, huh? The original addictive game. Very cool. Maybe I should check it out. Then I can tell my mom, like, I played the game that you were you're singing the song to. And she'll be like, that's nice, dear. You typically play against AI controlling other civs. It's got multiplayer as well. How long is a game? Like, do you go until the end of time? Like, like how do you like, what's the end time? Or is it kind of just more like you try to survive as long as possible? When you say it's late, but one last turn, but it's suddenly 3 a.m. Yes. I am familiar with this feeling. I am familiar. Civilization is the game everyone I hear talk about says 6 hours pass without them realizing. Oh my god. No, you guys are, but that like makes it more appealing to me. Well, I'm like scared, but now I want to play it. There's different win conditions and they depend on which game you're playing. Oh, okay, okay. So you kind of like, when you like create a game, you sort of have a goal in mind, I guess. Like multiple people say it. Hot dang. Hot dog. America dog. Give some dimension to the shells here. Man, maybe I should do it as a one-off. First time playing Civilization. That's the point of these streams, right? Just like, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten to try like a lot of different things since I started streaming. To try things. Civ 4 is the most beloved entry, but 5 and 6 are also very good. There's not a bad Civ game. Ooh. That's pretty impressive. Cause it's a pretty long-standing series, right? Cause like, I mean, even Story of Seasons, like, I feel like, you know, I feel like there are some games that people would consider bad entries to Story of Seasons. Like not even counting the like post-split Harvest Moon ones, but like, you know, it's kind of hard to be able to say that with a lot of games. The game starts with one turn being hundreds of years, but by the end, the game is like a couple of months. All cosmetic, but down to technology progresses faster and faster. That's kind of cool. I'm winning the war against executive dysfunction. I try. It is a daily battle. The daily battle that we're all in, I'm sure. It's on sale a lot at Steam. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna add it to my Steam wishlist right now so I can get a notification when it's a Sid Meier's Civilization. Oh, it's by Sid Meier. Okay. The Sim City guy, right? I think. Oop, this is the wrong. Oop. I clicked on something else. This is the wrong game. What the heck is Galactic Civilizations? Civilization 4. Nope, not that one. Ah! I'm getting baited by... I feel like I'm having... I often have dreams where I can't, like, type things. Like, I'm trying to type into a chat and a text and, like, I'm having a very serious conversation with somebody, but I, like, can't type fast enough. Okay, add this to my wish list. $20. That's not that expensive. Cool. Okay. SimCity was Will Wright. Oh. Uh-oh. I apologize to both Will Wright and Sid Meier. Whoops. I have those dreams too where I can't write a text on my phone. Yeah, like the other day I was trying to type Saturday because for whatever reason in my dream I got baited into having a work meeting, and like, but in the work meeting I joined the work meeting, but then I also turned on my like personal PC, and it turned out that I'd left Final Fantasy 14 running, and for whatever reason my webcam was showing my other screen, and so then people in my work meeting were like typing into the chat like, "Ooh, looks like somebody's playing while having a work meeting," and I was like, "No, I was just turning it off. It was just on from yesterday." And then I turned it off, and then after the work meeting, I looked at the calendar and it was Saturday, and I was like, "Wait a second, It's Saturday. I totally have the right to be playing video games. And who the heck scheduled a work meeting on Saturday? So that I was trying to type back into the work chat like, it's friggin' Saturday, but I couldn't type Saturday. Like it kept like auto-correcting into like gibberish. And I was like, what? Like I was trying to type, and then I had to like type it really slowly. But then as I typed it slowly, it kept auto-correcting. I couldn't turn it back. I don't know what this kind of dream means about me. Like, what does typing anxiety represent? What does it symbolize? I don't know. He also did Sid Meier's Pirates. I've never heard of that. Sounds cool. When I try to do a bit about something you said, I take so long you move topics. Oh no! Oh no! You're living the nightmare every day. Well, not every day. Every stream day. Sorry. It doesn't help that there's a bit of a lag between chat and the streamer. Whoops. So I always have to like... I always tend to kind of like keep talking because I get nervous about silence. And then Leonardo DiCaprio spins a top. And then I'm like, oh, thank God nobody baited me actually into a work meeting on a Saturday. Only when I'm on the phone like right now. Oh yeah, typing on the phone is always really stressful. When you're trying to like get out a witty thing very fast. Sid Meier's Pirates is a sandbox RPG where you are a pirate. You make pirate friends. You have to like create a crew, like you have to recruit people, like Luffy from One Piece. And then you save them from their problems and they're like, we'll follow you forever, Luffy. You're our captain. Really? Aw, dang. I like that. Maybe I would like playing pirates. Maybe I should play more sandbox RPGs. I have a really hard time like finding objectives for myself in kind of more open games like that. But I think it's quite fun when you're, you know, kind of like the Chow Garden stream. Like I think it's fun when you're just playing with friends. You know? Kind of just messing around. Kind of puts the stress off of trying to like quote unquote win. You think the author from One Piece knows what the One Piece is? He made a joke about it recently. Like, cause he like basically went on hiatus cause he's like many manga artists, he's like overworked and very tired. And he's like, yeah, I should take a vacation and like maybe I'll figure out what the One Piece is. Ha ha ha. And it was like, I know some people were like, is he joking or? What if he doesn't know? Like, if I was him, I wouldn't know. But he's also, like, much cooler and smarter than me, so I mean, who knows? I need to figure out how to shade a trumpet. He didn't say that? I thought I saw he, like, put out a message to his fans for, like, for his vacation. I thought. He also made a railroad tycoon. Ooh. He took a month break because Toriyama died? Oh, I see. Oh, I thought that, okay, I thought it was a different sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Though kind of like, I realized while thinking about this, like, I think, I don't think there's any possible way that I could be disappointed with how One Piece ends. Like, you know how like, I think Demon Slayer recently ended, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, it was like so like, you know, people didn't like the ending that much. Sorry, I'm like trying to Google. I'm talking, but I'm also trying to Google like a trumpet reference. But like, oh, I Googled angel trumpet, and apparently that's the name of a flower. That's cool. It put his health into perspective, yeah. Okay, I'm glad he's taking a break to take care of himself. Either you'll be immensely disappointed or just happy the journey happened, one of the two. You know, I don't think I could be disappointed with. I think I will very firmly be just like happy that the journey happened. And I think because One Piece is one of those rare cases where like it doesn't even really matter what the One Piece is. Like it's like One Piece is truly like the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. Like I feel that so hard with One Piece. And so it's like, and like we've gotten so many cool character stories and stuff out of it already. Like the adventure has itself just been very cool. The break ended like a month ago? Oh, okay. I'm like super out of date then. So I don't know. Like, so like even if it ends in like a weird way, I'll just be like, well, it was just like a cool journey. I don't know. Like we got a lot of cool stories out of the adventure. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. I feel like I was talking, I'm having these thoughts because I was talking about this with my husband, Mr. Jojo, a little while ago. But like, I think the other series I feel like is also kind of like that is Detective Conan. Like it's like, in the sense that it's like the opposite, where it's so repetitive that like no matter how it ends, well, people know how it's gonna end, which is the main character is gonna figure out how to cure his like the fact that he's a little child and he will turn back into not a child. Like everybody knows that that's what the ending will be. So like there's literally no way to be like surprised or disappointed. I don't know. Oda said like 10 plus years ago that the One Piece is a real tangible thing. Oh, okay. Creator was quoted as saying, I need a break to figure out what the One Piece exactly is. Yeah, I remember seeing that line. This is what I thought of. But I'm pretty sure he was joking, or people think he was joking when asked if the One Piece is friendship. Oh. Yeah, I think, well, I mean, these two statements put together, I think maybe he's joking. But, yeah, that's interesting. Cool. By the way, Railroad Tycoon. I am having a flashback to a railroad game that I used to play as a kid that I had completely forgotten about now. Is it Railroad Tycoon? Gotta look this up. What is the train game that I used to play? I wonder if is Betty still here? Does she remember a train game? No, it was not Railroad Tycoon. I have no memory of this place. The One Piece is a Tamagotchi. Bye now. Transport Tycoon? Or Tycoon? I remember you had to like put down, it was like first person. It was like a first person train game. You had to put down like rails, and then you would like move the train across the rail. Oh my god, what was it? I cannot believe, it's so weird to like suddenly remember the existence of a thing you had forgotten about. Yeah, it's like it was first person. And you would like climb into the train. You'd like put the rails down and then you like climb into the train. What the heck was it? It was like an old Windows game. Like tiny, you know, not amazing graphics or anything. I feel like the lighting on this trumpet is not correct. Okay, that's fine. I think I need to make the shadow like a bit more blue saturated. More saturated? Oh no, this is gonna bother me. I used to play it a lot. It was like, I remember it being very addicting, but I don't remember what the gameplay loop was. But I have like a visual memory of what it looked like. Gosh dang. Gosh dang it. Why can't I remember? Man, you guys are gonna get me into simulation games again. Railroad Tycoon looks pretty cool. It also looks very old. Just like looking at some screenshots. Might as well complete the 90s white dude sim management game Juggernaut trifecta and mention Roller Coaster Tycoon and Chris Sawyer. I have never played the original Roller Coaster Tycoon. I'm familiar with the I mean I don't know if they're related in any way directly, but I'm sure they're at least inspired, you know, like the new what is it? Roller Coaster World, or what is it called? I don't know. The dinosaur game you played was also very old. That's true. Planet Coaster, that's what it's called. Is it weird that I get scared of roller coaster simulations? Like, I get scared of hurting the people that go on to the roller coaster. Like, I don't want them to die. But I think for a lot of people that was sort of like doing terrible things to like the tiny like fake people was actually a feature of the game. Chris Sawyer built Roller Coaster Tycoon by himself at assembly? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you build something in assembly? I guess he had a vision. And he went for it. Wow, that's very impressive. For the performance? Always about the performance. The game ran like butter? Dang. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're simulating a lot of physics and stuff. It was a while ago and computers were very weak. Weak computers. Okay, I think we're good with the, Actually, let me add a little bit more highlight to the trumpet, but I think we're good with this Koopa here. I do like watching. There's a YouTube channel of Let's Game It Out. Have you guys seen that? There's a YouTuber who like basically specializes in these like simulation type games and does like really crazy things in them. I find those really fun to watch because then I can kind of watch the watch the psychotic behavior without having to commit any crimes myself. So that's always fun. Yeah, he does some creative stuff. And I like his voice is very deadpan, which is good contrast, I think, to some of the things that he does. Never give Let's Game It Out a terrain tool. Yup. He will put those virtual people in misery. He does some pretty cool stuff. I enjoy watching that. I haven't caught up on it recently. I should watch some more. Okay, I think we're done with the green Paragoomba. Let's finish up this Paragoomba and then we can end the stream. I think that'll be a good stopping point after the Paragoomba. Let's see. Where's a Paragoomba reference? Show me what a Paragoomba looks like, Google. The creators of Satisfactory use his save to test for performance? That's wild. That's pretty cool, though. Dang. That's awesome. Yeah, he does some pretty intense stuff sometimes. Like, I think he really likes... one of the things he does is just to see, like, how badly he can make the game run. Which is always a fun experiment. That's neat though that the developers are like into it. They're like, oh yes, thank you. That's so cool. Apparently he streams on Twitch sometimes, but oops. Not mean to duplicate those layers. Yeah, I've never caught a stream of his. Not sure what I would say. It's a very different kind of stream than I usually watch, so I would not know what to do. Not sure if he's streaming regularly or anything. Yeah, but I enjoy that that channel. It makes me cry laugh sometimes. I tried to show it to my husband, but he can't like. He's like, there's too much happening. The editing style is very chaotic. Well, not chaotic, but it's very rapid. So I can understand that. Have you seen his channel description, the part where he says his computer specs? No, I haven't. Let me look. Hopefully it doesn't autoplay a video. Don't autoplay a video. Gaming Let's Play channel by some guy named Josh. Channel details. I don't see the part where he lists his computer specs. Probably somewhere though. Community tab? Oh, there's a lot of stuff on here. And I don't know how the community tab works. Do people read community posts on YouTube? Either I don't or I don't follow enough channels that use it. But I have no doubt that his computer is extremely beefy. He does some pretty wild stuff. Yeah, but I guess maybe if I get hit with the urge, I wonder if he has a Civilization video. I could watch that instead of dedicating hundreds of hours of my life playing Civ and Roller Coaster Tycoon. I'm so mad I can't remember what the train game I used to play was. What the heck was it? I think that's what I'll do immediately after the stream, is just go on like a Google adventure. Try to figure out what this memory in my mind is. Sure hope I'm not confusing it with some other game. So I'm fairly certain it was like a first-person train game. Maybe isn't that common? I don't know. I don't remember what the point of it was. Maybe it was just sandbox? Like, I don't think there was a story. I think you were just trying to like go from point A to point B. The part of his about on oh, it's on Twitch. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, you said channel and I was looking at his YouTube. But Twitch is also made of channels. Let's game it out. Don't autoplay. Twitch, do not autoplay. I don't want to autoplay. Loading. It's loading so slowly. No autoplay. Okay. Bum 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 bum. An i9 RTX 3090, 64 gigs of RAM, a mess of hard drive. Wow. Entire flock of hard drives. What do you call a group of hard drives? A gaggle of hard drives. A Glory of Unicorns. Has anyone read A Glory of Unicorns? It was it was a book I read a lot as a kid, and it's written by what's the guy's name? Brian Colville? He like wrote a bunch of like kind of like sci-fi like kids books. There was like a very popular series that I can't remember the name of now because I never read them, but and the will to keep going, yes. We all need to learn from that. But yeah, this guy wrote like very juvenile, like kind of gross, like alien books for kids. But then he turned around and he like wrote this beautiful unicorn book that I read a lot. But yeah, apparently a group of unicorns is a glory. It's called A Glory of Unicorns. I think he coined it in that book. A gaggle of hard drives. A grind of hard drives. The question before that, is your computer okay? This is debatable. It's alive. That's all that matters. I like how there's so many questions about like who's Grace. He always uses the word. He always uses the name Grace in his various games. Is it someone you know? He's like ice. He's like no. It is not. But yeah, I really like his humor. I think deadpan humor is really, maybe because it's the kind of humor that I'm not very good at. It's good comedy. Good comedy. Struggling with the shadow shape. This is what we want. Something like this. Yes. Okay. Yeah, deadpan is good. It's hard to do. It requires a lot of bravery. I feel like it's a little bit like the rhetorical equivalent of jumping off a cliff. Like, you kind of have to trust that the other people also are on the same page as you, because you can't laugh. Because if you laugh, you ruin the whole thing. What type of humor are you good at? You tell me, guys. The answer can be none. I don't know how to counter, just like awkward, self-deprecating. It was also fun and someone struggling to keep it in. Oh yeah, I love that. I love watching like movie bloopers where people are doing that. Bravery or foolishness. Sometimes it's both. I don't know you that well, so I wouldn't know. Well, I mean, I think you can just judge based on the stream. I feel like the way I act on stream is pretty close to the way I act in real life. Probably a lot less chatty in real life to most people, but I can be chatty. Mostly I'm chatty here because you all have agency over whether you want to listen to me or not. Like, everybody here can leave at any time, so I'm like not super worried about like talking people's ears off. I'm often too deadpan for my humor to translate it through chat. Oh no. Yeah, it's a hard balance. Like, it really does require a lot of rapport, I think, with you and your audience. I don't know if I've laughed at the things you said. Greg is here roasting me. It's okay. Maybe things that happen to you. Yeah. I think that's mostly my humor kind of revolves around like like bad things that happen to me that I guess also, well, not, I wouldn't say bad, but like maybe awkward and or bad things that happen to me that people kind of relate to. Like my comics are kind of based on that as well. I feel like. Yeah, but I don't think I like make jokes. I kind of just tell stories, perhaps. The everyman. I get the idea of I let other people talk if they want, but given a thing where no one else is talking out loud, I can talk forever. Yep. The every joy. No, if I am at all like close to or representative of the human condition, we are all in very big trouble. I do not want to be like the average. That would not be good. JoJo stories. I've been told that I'd probably make a good storyteller. Ooh, that's a great compliment. At least I think so. Yeah, it's definitely a skill. Definitely a skill. And like within that, it's like whether you're aware of it or not, like there's a particular style of telling stories that kind of works best for different people. You kind of have to be like aware. It takes a lot of self-awareness, I think, to be a good storyteller. Just on my limited experience. But yeah, you kind of have to like get a gauge of like, oh, is this like interesting? Like, how would people react to it? You kind of have to be able to like imagine your audience's inner worlds. You're a successful computer person and a loved member in the community. How could that be bad for humanity in comparison? Aw, that's really nice. That's a very nice thing to have said. I appreciate that. Like, I'm really good at projecting emotions and reading the books at the right speed. Ah, okay. You mean like reading out, like doing the narration. Whoops. Ooh. Like reading out loud. Yeah. Yeah, that also requires skill. Like kind of like being able to imagine like the cadence and also like performing the cadence and then also like making it easy to listen to. A lot of things to balance. Not intended. I once told my friend, because I have a friend of mine who has a nice like speaking voice, and just kind of one-off. I don't remember why we were talking about this, but I one-off told them like, oh, I think you'd be really good at like ebook narration. Yeah, like I'd listen to books that had were voiced by you, and he was like he like took the compliment like really, like I think he liked it way more than I was expecting. He was like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. He was like very surprised. I don't know. He really, I guess that was like a really big compliment to him. I don't know, but I like, which I'm glad for. I didn't mean it to be. It was just kind of like an offhand thought I had, but like maybe that makes it more meaningful. That was like kind of, you know, unprompted. Okay. I think we're good with the angels. angle this shadow a bit more. You're good at making a cozy atmosphere and diffusing tension, and while that's not necessarily funny, it's a valuable thing to be able to do. Oh, thank you! Yeah, those are two things I really try to go for. Doesn't it anger you when they're happy because of something you said? It angers me? Why does it anger you? I'm very curious about that. No, I like it. It's happened a couple of times to me, actually. Not too much, but like I've said something kind of offhand. It's like you know, just like a what I thought was a small compliment, and then the other person is very like, that's like the nicest thing anyone said to me, and I'm like, what? Well, I meant it. I hate when people have a better day because of me. How dare they? How dare they let me influence them? How dare they let me become a positive influence in their life? All right, okay. I think maybe we'll end here for today. I think, how long am I streaming? About 2 hours? Okay, yeah, that's a good amount of time. So we finished up the angels up at the top. So we are pretty much done with the characters, which is a pretty nice milestone. So now, we gotta do the background and then probably do some adjustments, you know, to kind of make everything flow together a little bit better. I'm sure I'll find like mistakes and stuff to correct along the way, but we are getting pretty close to finishing this painting. I am scared of the background. I'm scared of all backgrounds. I'm scared of painting backgrounds, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna paint the Miyamoto's face in the sky. We're gonna put some stars in. Try to make some sense out of the shadows on the ground. Make sure all the lighting looks good. So still quite a bit to do, but we are getting there. Thank you all for coming to hang out. I always enjoy hanging out with y'all on art streams. Let's take a look real quick and see if there's anybody to raid. Doopa-doopa-doopa-doo. Creator dashboard. Where's my raiding interface that is very scary? Oh yeah, and I should say, next stream is gonna be on Tuesday night. 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, and it will be, I think, the finale stream for Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life. So if you want to watch my character die, like, I guess maybe a little bit of a trigger warning. I don't know if this is something that I don't know, just in case people should be aware of, but I'm fairly certain the main character dies. there's like a scene where they die, so if you're not cool with that, maybe skip this one. But we're gonna be facing mortality in the next Tuesday stream, so that'll be exciting, I think. So I'll see you all for that. Let's see if there is anybody to raid. Oh look, Brian is playing Animal Crossing. Let's looks like they're doing a villager hunt, which is always fun. Why don't we send over a raid to Brian? Start the raid here. All right, thanks everybody for coming. I'll see you on Tuesday if you're interested in Story of Seasons. Bye-bye.